Hi, everyone. This is Tibor from Percona. Today, I'm going to talk to you about our Percona monitoring and management, PMM. Um, I'm going to show you what's the components of PMM, how do we leverage open source, which components do we use, because a PMM is an open source observability tool for databases. And at the end of the presentation, I'm also going to show you what the future holds for PMM, what we are working on right now, and what is coming very soon. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat, and I'm more than happy to answer them. Good. Go back. So still today, most of the application has at least a database backend, at least one. Most of the application has many different ones. Percona, hopefully, I hope you know about Percona, but Percona is a database company. We are supporting different technologies, and the PMM, or Percona Monitoring and Management, helps us to find problems, to monitor our databases, and tune our databases. So PMM is most still focused on databases and try to go as deep in databases as much as possible. So that's the focus of PM. But we also, of course, showing you other details, other metrics of our infrastructure, your nodes and CPU, memory usage, all that stuff. So PMM is 100% open source. We are using a lot of different open source components. No vendor lock-in or no lock-in in any form. And it supports, out of the box, it monitors and supports 4 different databases, but that's easily extendable. But what we say or what we mean, we actually maintain, we test, and with QA these 4 databases, and we make sure the collector, the dashboards, and everything works with these 4 databases what we support: MySQL, Postgres, MongoDB, and Walkie. That's easily extendable. PMM supports external exporters. So you can connect your exporter to PMM, and you will be able to see any other database technologies which has an export. So what open source components PMM has? So for metrics, where we store our time series metrics, we use Victoria metrics for that one. For visualization, we use Grafana. I'm pretty sure almost everyone knows Grafana at this point, so you use that one. For query analytics data, so which is not time series data, which is not a kind of unstructured data, we store that in ClickHouse, which is great for those kind of data and querying those and getting the information out of ClickHouse. Pretty cool. We support or we use many different exporters. Here I'm just listing a few of those. And as I said, you can PMM also supports external exporters. So if you have a Prometheus compatible exporter, you can use that in PM with PM. Recently, with the PMM 3, we also added Nomad server and Nomad client into PMM 3. Right now, this is a kind of behind the scenes. It's not very exposed, and it's not doesn't really do anything at the point, but we are working on a internal management solution inside Percona, which going to enable you to run tasks on nodes where the PMM client is running. So it's going to help you with database automation, like doing online schema changes, doing migration, archiving, backupping, and all those day-to-day tasks what you have to actually do for your work. Will be this can have with us. It's still early stage, but we already have working examples. So we'll hopefully the next 1 or 2 quarters we can actually release it and give you more information on that. Okay. So let's see how the PMM architecture and quick overview, how these components connect together in PMM. So in the PMM server, we have the PMM UI and we have the PMM server backend. And the backend, you can see, okay, let's start from the bottom. So in the backend, you can see we have inside PMM. This is just a simplified view. Just see, let's say this is one PMM installation. Everything is in one container. This is how it kind of looks like. So inside PMM, we have 3 different databases. We have a ClickHouse, Victory Metrics, and the Postgres database. So the Postgres database holds this configuration data, the state of the server, alerting, and kind of data like that. It's so that the database is very small. It doesn't get any heavy writes. It stores the inventory. It's used for authentication. So it's a very lightweight. Victory Metrics storing the time series, and ClickHouse is for query metrics. And you can see we have a lot of course, we have a lot of APIs, and we have the managed the API library, which connects all this together. On the UI side, we have the Grafana dashboards, we have Percona alerting, we have backup management, and of course, we have query analytics, which is one of the most used feature of PMM. It gives you the ability to actually go in PMM UI, check your queries, see which query takes the most time or using the most resources, or writing the most rows, check the table schema, check the explain for that query, and just all the statistics for that query, and try to see and figure out what's the problem. So you can find all this information in one page, one UI, which can be very helpful. You don't need any database access anywhere. And of course, we have the PMM client, which is actually a client or an agent, which is running on the monitored servers, nodes, containers, and collecting all the metrics, all the data, and pushing those to the server. Okay. So how this interaction is happening between the server and the client. So kind of what's the workflow? So the PMM client, as I mentioned, is running on the monitoring server. In the PMM client, they include many different exporters, Node exporter, MySQL exporter, Mongo exporter, etc., etc. So those exporters collecting the metrics from from the node itself. And we have the Victory metrics agent, which is pulling all these metrics from the exporters. Which is important here. There is a caching here. Victory metrics agent caches these metrics. So if it cannot push up to these metrics or data immediately to PMM server, the metrics are not lost. It's going to wait, and when PMM server is reachable or it's back again, it's going to send all those metrics to the server. So as you can see from the agent, there is a push to Victory metrics. So in that case, we don't have to open the port for the PMM server back to the clients to be reachable. In the PMM server, in the background, many things happening. The query analytics are using a different route of sending the metrics. The query analytics working on a kind of bucket base. So in the query analytics sending the metrics in every minute. It's collecting all the queries, all the data, doing some aggregation magic on it, and sending those metrics every minute. And in the PMM server, we have the Grafana UI, and that's where the end users can see all these metrics, can analyze, can graph it, and use it. What we are working on right now, and what's coming for PMM in the next quarter or this quarter. So we're working on PMM high availability. At this point, PMM is a single container or single node. So you can start it PMM in Docker, you can start it in Kubernetes, on bare metal, but everything is configured or everything is set up in one single node setup. Of course, that can be an issue for many companies because not just monitoring, if you're using it for alerting and you're relying on alerting with PMM, you have to make sure you always have a running instance and your monitoring is not going to go down. So this is why we are working on PMM high availability now. In a next slide, I'm going to discuss that a bit more details. We're also working on real-time query analytics. I'm going to show you what's the difference between query analytics, what we have now, and the real-time query analytics. And we are working on some AI and automation features as well. I'm also going to mention that or show you that in a second. So in high availability mode, we are going to have a proper cluster setup. So at this stage, we are basing our high availability solution configuration in Kubernetes. So at first, this is going to work on Kubernetes, and later on, we can see if we can make this happen on Docker, just pure Docker instances. So we are going to have active standby architecture. So we are going to multiply PMM nodes, and one is going to be always active. There is going to be a rough protocol around that, and going to provide you automatic failover if the active node goes down. The secondary or passive node automatically going to start. This was a highly required feature from many enterprise customers or users, where they have the SLAs or processes, and they have to have high availability for everything. So this is just a very high level topology. How is it working right now? So actually, we already have the I wouldn't, it's more than POC. We're already working the final solution, the technical preview and the GA on this solution. It's already working. We are still polishing it, fixing some edge cases, but as it is right now, it's already working. If you want to reach out to us, feel free to reach out and we can have a call, or I can share how you can test this and how can you play with PMM HA. So every single component is going to be highly available. As I said, PMM has 3 databases, so that means all 3 databases has to be highly available. So we are going to have a Victoria Metrics cluster. We are going to have a ClickHouse cluster, and we are going to have a Postgres cluster. On top of that, we are going to have at least 3 PMM nodes. They are talking through RAF protocol and handling the leader election and the quorum and voting. And on top of that, we are going to have at least 2 or 3 HA proxy nodes, which is going to direct the traffic always to the PMM leader. Also important, so we also have the Gossip protocol, which comes from Grafana and Alert Manager. So we can make sure, even if you have multiple PMM nodes, the alerting is only, you're not going to get duplicate alerts. Only one node is sending the alerts, and the alert state is always up to date. So, as I said, this is based on Kubernetes. Any part of this or any node, if any of the node, the ClickHouse cluster or Victor Metrics cluster goes down, the operator or Kubernetes itself is going to fix that, just restart or start the node. That's same for the PMM HA. If any of the node goes down, if leader goes down, the RAF protocol is going to select a new leader, and HA proxy is going to follow the leader selection. So it's always checking who is the leader. We are also, of course, we have to show that, or you have to see this HA architecture on the PMM UI as well. You have to know who is the leader. You have to know the state of the servers and some basic information about this HA setup. This is what we are working on right now. This is the design, how we imagine this, and how we would like to develop it or use it. This may still can change, but so far this is what we are thinking it's going to look like. Okay. Let's move on to real-time query analytics. So what's different? I already mentioned query analytics, which is a big part of PMM. So query analytics is based on queries which were already executed and finished. So we get the queries, so PMM gets the queries from MySQL or from Perform Schema or Slowlog. It gets the queries from the MongoDBs or Postgres, but those queries has to be finished, and then you get it in PMM query analytics. The real-time query analytics, the difference here, you are going to see queries which are not finished, which are running right now on the server, which are taking resources right now. So this was a gap in PMM. So something was taking a lot of resources, but you didn't see the query in the query analytics yet because the query was not finished. Now, with real-time analytics, you can see that, and you can have real insight on the server, what's happening right now. Here's an example how it's going to look like. So, like you can imagine, like a process list running and have a nice UI. But of course, you can freeze this, you can stop this. When you go to a query, you can have more, you can have more information, you can explain, you can see what the query is actually doing. So in the background, you will see more information. or these queries, and you can decide what to do with that query or what's next. I think that's going to be a cool addition for analytics, and they can work very well in pair. Let's talk about the AI-powered intelligence, what we are planning here. So in PMM, we have a lot of data, actually. So we have a lot of metrics, we have the query analytics, and we are collecting data from your database infrastructure. So we are thinking and working on to use this data and give you even more insights, and give you even more help with your queries, with your tuning and finding performance issues or finding problems. So if we are going to use an AI-powered solution for your query analytics, it can even tell you what is the problem with your query, or it can suggest what could be the issue with your query. So it can help developers who don't have that deep database knowledge. So it can empower developers to investigate issues with the application or database related issues and see what could be the problem. Maybe it's a super simple fix, and they can apply that fix without any time needed from anyone else. And of course, with this one, we are planning to have some interface where you can actually interact with your data, and you can just type, okay, there was a spike last night, 3 a.m. Can you tell me what happened? And it's going to pull you all the required information, graphs, panels, and it's going to show you. Okay, let's have a look at what we imagine here. So we are going to have the query analytics part, and when you go to a query, you can ask and you can have that query analyzed and bring all the necessary data and metrics together. Here you can talk with your agent. So what we are planning here to offer you a selection of agents. So basically you can choose which agent you want to use. If your company has a contract with one, or you have an in-house agent, you can use that one as well. So we are not planning to provide one yet. We are going to use the available agents and models. I think this could be also very nice help and feature for our customers and users, and definitely help developers or anyone who is not that familiar with query optimization. So as you can see, in PMM, we are using a lot of different open source components or solutions. In Percona, we strongly believe in open source. Everything what we develop, or our tooling, Percona monitoring management, or our other products, what we develop at Percona, everything is open source. You can freely use it. We strongly believe that. And we also use our open source solution tools in our product as well. So we think open source can shape the future, and already shaping the future. So just keep that up. So as you can see, we are PMM, the monitoring, we are still evolving day to day. We are trying to make PMM better, integrate new technologies, new solutions, new ideas. If you have any feedbacks on HA, real-time analytics, or AI, or if you want to do POC or just review it, feel free to contact us. Feel free to even contribute. But we would like to hear and see your feedback. So thank you very much. That was me. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer it in the chat.